Commissioners. We're going to go back one item to item number 3. It's 28 Fillmore Place, Fillmore Place Historic District, docket number 154647, Borough of Brooklyn. It's an application for a certificate of appropriateness, an Italianate-style flats building built in 1854. The application is to reconstruct the primary facade.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ryan Walsh, Preservation Department staff. The application before you today is for a partial reconstruction of the facade at 28 Fillmore Street, which you see here. Philip Toscano from Philip Toscano Architects is here and will present the rest of the presentation. I'll stand up and left and right. Just tell me what. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Philip Toscano. I'm here to present the reconstruction of this facade at 28 Fillmore Street in Brooklyn. The necessity of replacing the facade is, you can see on the next photo, is that on the eastern side, the brickwork has pushed out almost 12 inches at the second story. It's sort of bowing out from the first all the way up to the third. We've investigated it on the next photo. From the interior, the brick bond has broken with the side walls. We had an engineer investigate this. There's no way to just remove the veneer and restore it. The whole facade has pushed out at the east end, and then as it travels towards the west, it's sort of, as it travels towards the west, it sort of starts to level out again, but not enough to preserve the entire facade. We are not going to replace this area of brick, nor this section of brick. It's in good condition, and it's remained plumb. And and this will also help us maintain the coursing lines. We've documented the coursing. We're going to salvage. The first step is to remove the paint from the brick, then remove the brick as carefully as possible, the face brick, salvage it, what can be salvaged. The lintels and the sills as well, we'll attempt to salvage those for reuse. And then we have to erect a wall on the interior, remove the facade, and then rebuild. And that's it.
All right. Questions?
Why can't this kind of thing be done at staff level if it's just a straight, if they've demonstrated the need and...
We are working on a staff level option for this eventually when we roll out
great.
some.
Right. It's not in our rules right now. Is that correct? But we are looking at that. Okay. Any other questions?
I just had a question. So is it is it on plane with the building next door at the top and the bottom? It's just the center? Or is it the whole building is...
Starting, that's all right. We're starting at the first floor. It begins to bow, and then it's approximately 12 inches here at the second floor, and it starts to recede. But it's not quite zero until you get close to the top of the building.
You'll also notice with this one, it's not a continuous party wall in this row. This is actually the separate brick. Each structure has its own system.
John?
And it shows that your drawing shows that I don't know if the windows are before us, but the windows are actually going to go back to the 2/2 that they used to be?
Yes, we are,
We're going to replace them.
we are doing a window replacement, although,
To match the historical,
Yes, it's going to be over too, but it's a staff level.
Okay, thank you.
Just curious if the drain stays.
excuse me,
Will the drain pipe stay? I see it's in the original too, but I'm just curious if it stays.
I believe so. I'm the owner.
Hi.
Corey, can I just stand on the- Sure, sure. I believe so, because the pitch of the roof is pitching down there, so we're gonna make a new opening up there and try to put a new lead pipe down. Yeah. Because the drain feeds down in here into the sewers.
Right, but that's pretty atypical for these front, so I'm
It's
just,
here on the original.
I know it is, I see it, but
Yeah.
Your roof slopes this way?
It has a
roof
bit of a
slopes-
pitch down, yeah, to the front.
no, it's not? Okay. You do, in the front? Okay. Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you. Speakers on this item, Kelly Carroll?
Kelly Carroll, Historic Districts Council. HDC asks that the treatment of the base of the building be re-examined. It appears to be brownstone, not brick, in the tax photograph. As the entire facade will be reconstructed, it's best to reassemble it correctly. We asked the LPC staff work carefully on this project with the applicant so that as much original material is reused as possible, as 1850s brick is increasingly a rare commodity in New York City. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more speakers on this item? All right, do you want to respond to that? Is that brick or is it brownstone? Is the intent to keep it as its original material?
It is brownstone.
So you,
Yes, the base is not being reconstructed.
okay, the base is not being reconstructed, fine. So there's no change in that? Okay. It's only above, in fact, the portion where it bows out. Okay.
Basically starting at the base of these windowsills and up is where it is, so everything below will stay the same.
Okay. So, right, if we can just work with the applicant to correct their drawing so there's no ambiguity. Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, we can close the hearing. And John, do you want to read that?
In the matter of docket number 15-4647, 28 Fillmore Place in the Fillmore Place Historic District, the application is to reconstruct the primary facade. I recommend approval, finding that the front facade of this building is structurally unsound at several documented locations, that the three-wide brick facade featuring a running bond pattern and punched openings with brownstone lintels and sills has been well documented with photographs and survey drawings to ensure its accurate reconstruction, that the facades will be dismantled by hand to ensure the stability of the party walls and the adjacent properties, as well as the retention and future reuse of the historic building fabric in the reconstruction, that the salvaged brick and stone and decorative cornice will be kept in a dry, clean area on site for reuse in the future reconstruction of the facade, and any supplemental or replacement materials will be in kind, that the work is designed to be in compliance with the Department of Buildings regulations, and that the proposed work will not diminish the special architectural and historic character of the building or the district.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This application's been approved.